you. Thank you for being here. So I have had a lot of questions about free will. Does free will exist? Do we have free will? To know the answer of that, we gotta know where we are. Because if you are a creator, and would you give free will to an entity that does not know the difference between good and evil? No, you would not. So we are here right now in the universe, in the university, to learn the difference between good and evil. So when we look through our lens is a part, is not the whole. So when we look through an angle, an angel, it's the same word, but EL you change. When we perceive through a part, realize when you look at a situation, you look at anything, you will not have the whole picture. You will just see it through a cut-off piece. So we don't have the ability to create anything before we know the difference between good and evil. And we perceive this reality as a chessboard. We think this is, many people think or might think that it is a war between good and evil. We might perceive it that way, and we might think we know what is good. But we gotta realize that we don't have the whole picture, because when we see something, what we do really is we project ourselves outwards through a lens. So we will see through the lens. Whatever we see, we will not see the light that it is. We will see through the programming, through the conditioning. So universe, there is just one unity, there is just one now. But if you add mind to the unity, or it appears as we add time, because we have a memory, because we have a mind. So the last moment appeared to exist, and it appears as time exists, and it appears as space exists, and it appears through a movement, a Fibonacci movement. So if you add a sequence to the moment of now, which is the only thing that is, but if you add time, it appears as a sequence, and that sequence is always Fibonacci, meaning that everything vibrates faster and faster. It becomes more and more subtle. So when everything becomes more and more subtle, or more and more complex, you could say, that means that good could never win over evil, because nothing that is real could ever get hurt. So this dimension is a test, you could say. It is a learning the good and evil. And if we have free will, if you would ask me, do I have free will, I would say yes. But who are you? You have free will, yes, as the one, as the creator. But if you, as an angle, a small piece of the whole, like a lens, a mask, piercing through, like if you as a lens has a free will, I would say no, because that is an ego, that is a mind-made object, is just conditioning and programming, and it doesn't have free will. So what to do with the information? What exists right now, here, what you perceive right now, in the now, that is what you have chose. Not the ego, the person, but the one has chose that, because that is what you need to learn right now. So the free will that you have as a mind-made object, as an ego, as a persona, as a mask, the fake you, the only choice you have as that type of entity is to resist or to accept. So when you have this information that your higher self have chose this, no matter how ugly it is, as it appears to be, you know you can resist it or you can accept it. And in the acceptance of it, there is your power. Because many people think when they accept that mean they should not, that they give up and don't have any power to change. But actually it's the opposite. It's when you accept and surrender to the now, it's first then when you have the power to change the situation. So to realize free will, you gotta realize that we are here in the school of good and evil, and your mind will always, no matter what you look at, say good, bad, like prove or disapprove, like everything. So it is what it does. But instead of saying good, bad, accept everything. Because everything is you, and you have chose this because you are here to learn what is good and what is bad. So free will does exist for the real you, not the ego you. Because the ego doesn't know what it wants. And it actually, the ego don't have any power, because it might have the intent to create good, but it would create not good things because it doesn't have the whole picture. So that's why the ego doesn't have any power. And the people has emerged with this unity, has power, but it doesn't really belong to them as a persona. So that is why in one way free will does not exist if the ego asks. And if the you ask, which it would not, because it has all the wisdom. But yeah, you chose this now. And as an ego, all you can do is surrender to it. It doesn't mean you give up, but you give up the resistance, because a mind cannot find an answer to a mind game. You gotta go beyond the mind. So again, what I would recommend to do is surrender to the now. Go into your feelings, meaning accept your feelings, feel your feelings. That is the transmutation. That is everything you are willing to look at, you accept.